Hi, and welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. I had mentioned in a previous video that I've been looking for the perfect deck to house in this little bag that I bought. And I also mentioned that I'm going through a phase right now in my tarot deck collecting that is geared towards warm, fiery colors. Oranges, reds, yellows, browns, you know. And so I have, over the course of this month or so, I bought 3 or 4 decks, maybe even more, that have this kind of orangey red quality to them in search of the perfect deck to go in that bag. Now, one of the decks that I ordered is this one I'm about to show you. It's the Tarot Des Aux Arcs. And I got it from Printer's Studio. I think they make it as you order it, so it takes a week to a couple of weeks. This is the back of the cards. This had previously come out with a different design, and I actually liked the earlier design, but I can't seem to get that one. It's no longer available. This one is pretty, but the coloring is off, and the design doesn't seem to relate to the design of the artwork on the other sides, which you'll see in a minute. The color, now people have said to me it's orange, and I have crap lighting here. It looks to me like pink, or sort of a salmon-y pink color, rather than orange, which I guess could be construed as orange, but this is not what I think of as orange. It seems more akin to salmon or pink. But that's the back, and it's a floral design, and this is not a floral deck. So I'm not really sure why they chose this particular design for this deck. It's not bad, though. I mean, it is kind of sort of abstract and contemporary looking, but it's just a different feel, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is, I don't know if this is strictly speaking a Marseille deck or if it's a pip deck. Either way, I am not a major fan of Marseille or pip decks. I have a few, and I haven't fully embraced them, because while I find the patterns and the design of pip cards attractive, I find it hard to read, and it's just very redundant. It's an array of the suit cards, the pips, in arrangements that are appealing but not visually stimulating, and other than the increasing number, they don't vary from card to card in terms of the imagery. So I was intrigued and pleased when I saw that this deck, they vary considerably in color, and I should just stop talking and show you. There is no little white book with this, no box. It just came shrink wrapped. This is the Fool. There's no numbering on the cards. There is labeling in French, and the labeling is hard to read, sometimes, as far as it seems to me, illegible. Sometimes it seems like it's abbreviated French. I can't quite make it like this. I don't know what this says. It looks like Leroiel. I don't know what that is in terms of the Fool. It's not like anything I've seen on any other Marseille deck. I do like the modern abstract quality of these designs, the sort of brushwork. It's recognizable as the Fool. You see the little dog there. So, if you're familiar with Marseille or tarot in general, you shouldn't have too much trouble identifying these cards. But if you're counting on numbers or labels, you might have some difficulty. This is the Magician, which is a familiar sort of layout with that hat and the table with various objects on it, tools. Then we have the La Papesse, the Black High Priestess, which is interesting. I love the coloring in this deck and the modern quality of it. I don't have that many modern style decks, and I think I have one other pip deck, the Seventh Sphere, that has modern designs, but I really like the painting style in this one. It's the Empress. The Emperor. And you can see the color scheme changes from card to card, but every card, I think all the cards in the deck, with the exception of maybe two, have some element of red in them, which I like. They all have, even though that this has blue and green in it, it has a warm quality to it. I love the dark background shading in this one. And I may be repeating myself, but I love the contemporary styling in the design of these images. This one I had to look at twice to realize that's a lion. I don't know why. I had a little trouble there. I guess because it's so abstract. I was looking at the curls, and I thought, oh, that's the strength card, because she's got a lion there. I love this Hermit card. I just really love the coloring in that sort of yellowy green light, a dark background. The kind of squared off, almost chalk-like outlines. This Wheel of Fortune is nice and fiery, warm red. Now, since I've kept these in order, I haven't shuffled them or laid them out yet to see how they look, but I just really, really, really like these a lot. The coloring, the abstraction, the art design. And some of them just seem a little bit plunked or plopped onto white card stock, but it works for me. They have an almost casual or reckless quality to the brushwork. Almost like they were very quickly done. Oh, this is gorgeous. And a nice bright red devil. And wow, look at the action in that Tower card. It's just an explosion of activity there. This is the Star. The Moon, which looks more like the Sun, but we know from the lobster or crayfish there that this is the Moon card. It says La Lune, although it's scrolled on there in a way that almost looks like it says lawn. This is the Sun, which we know because of the twins, which is typical on a Marseille deck. Judgment. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the labeling because it's really peculiar. This one says Le Monde, which is the world, but I believe Le Monde usually has an E at the end of it. I'm not up on my French, but somehow this is like Lemon D. But the imagery. Okay, now we're into the minors. These are the cups, and you'll see what I mean. Each one is like a modern art painting. It's like a visit to a modern abstract art museum. I'm almost sorry my flesh tone hand is behind this because it's kind of throwing off how you perceive the edge of this card. There's a lot of flesh tone in that card. Here's the 2, 3. Let me switch colors here a little bit. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, switch colors again. 8. 9. Switch backgrounds. So they seem to be sort of alternating. Then we have a page, or valet it says. Or knight. Or I can't make it out. It seems like it should be cavalier, but it doesn't say. Cheval, maybe, but if it's cheval or chevalier, it's chopped off. It's not really legible, but it's on a horse, you know, it's got to be the knight. The king. No, sorry, that's the queen. That's where I get a little confused too. Queen is R-E-I-N, apparently, and king is R-O-Y, or R-O-I. Yeah, the labeling's a little problematic, but boy, I love these images. And I love the coloring. So that's the Ace of Clubs, or Wands, rather. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then a beauty. Look how that shifts to another shade in the background. And again, and then partially here. And then a darker tone. And this is a little bit similar. Then we have our page, our knight, queen, and the king. So each one is like its own beautiful painting. Now we've got the pentacles, ace. And here, as typical of Marseille, has the date, the name of the deck, and I'm assuming a signature of the creator, although it's illegible to me. I don't know who the creator of this deck was. I'm sure the information is online, but the deck didn't come with any information from Printer's Studio. And 3 wildly different changing color. And so you just have to count the number of, oh no, there are numbers on these. They're Roman numerals. Now, did I miss that on the earlier pips? Apparently so. I didn't realize on the pips there are Roman numerals at the bottom of each card. So you can count them or read the Roman numerals. At least those are more discernible than the typed or spelled out labels. That's one without the red. I think there are only like a couple in the deck that don't have any red in them. And I love that even though, I mean, these are all pentacles, but even the style of the pentacles changes from card to card. But they're still identifiable as pentacles. And we have the page. It's a little bit of a snooty attitude expression on his face. And a friendly looking knight. Queen. I don't know if you're probably not picking that up. The silhouette of her face is in finer line work. This sort of alternates between sketchy line work and sort of broad, bold brushstrokes and washes. Okay. Then we have the swords, and oh, look at that sword. I love the line work in that. It's like white chalk or something. I actually can't wait to use these, and I don't find myself saying that about Marseille decks. But this one, I'm really anxious to get shuffling and laying out. I don't know that they're going to be any easier than any other for me to read, because I still haven't worked out the reading of Marseille decks. But these are just beautiful cards to look at, regardless of the reading. Oh, and then get a load of this. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Here's another one. I love these kind of surprising dark ones that just sort of pop out of the deck. So overall, I think, red really pops out of these images. Um, and the color palette here is very warm. I really like this deck a lot. So this is the Tarot Des Aux Arcs, and you might have to Google that to get a little bit more information about the creation of it, the creator, and any backstory about the creation of this deck, because I don't have any information, didn't come with any. So, yeah.